I love it when I get the opportunity to do an impromptu filming because my mother offers to watch children on a Saturday morning, but that usually means I go through my dry shampoo stash even quicker. Be right back. Hi everyone and welcome back to Linda Libra Loca. My name's Anne and today will be the last installment of my post-pregnancy body update. I'm happy to report that I not only lost the 16 kilogram I gained when being pregnant with my son, but I also lost the additional 3 that I still had left from my first pregnancy. So I'm happy to announce that I'm officially at the same weight that I was before I ever got pregnant. In my 6-month update, I talked about my exercise and diet routine, and I got quite a few questions on the interval fasting. There seems to be some misconception and a great load of interest. Little disclaimer, yes, I do have a medical degree. Yes, I am a trained physician, I'm an intensivist, and I worked a lot with nutritionists, so I know great load of this stuff, but this video will not replace a consultation with your doctor, someone to see you personally. This is just basic information. Always see someone before you start going on any kind of diet. We need to start with some scientific background, and the scientific background is mainly around the hormone insulin. We all have heard about the insulin. It's very important if you have diabetes, but it also plays an important role in our everyday life. We eat, our digestive system breaks things down, the blood sugar rises due to the carbohydrates, and that triggers insulin release. This is very important because insulin is the hormone of growth. It takes the carbohydrates from the bloodstream through the liver, where they build glycogen, which is your energy source, your quick energy source throughout the day. It builds fat in the fat cells for your long-term energy use, and it helps build muscle as well. Insulin keeps fat in the fat cells. So as long as your insulin levels are high, your fat won't be broken down. Not so great thing in our everyday life is that we eat way too much, our insulin levels are constantly high. Important thing is, I am not telling you to ditch the carbohydrates completely. Our brain, which should be the most important part of our body, can only function on the energy it gets from carbohydrates. So if you go completely carbohydrate free, your body has to go through a lot to get the brain energized. And I personally don't care as much about the thigh gap as I do about my brain function. The continuously high insulin has other things that aren't as great. There is a thing that's called metabolic syndrome or diabetes in adults, and most of the time that comes because the insulin levels are high, and on every cell in the body there are receptors. So if the hormone comes by, the receptors grab it and something happens in the cell in your body. And if the receptors are constantly full with insulin, the body says, well, no, that's too much. I'm going to have less receptors because I just can't keep up the work. So your body needs higher insulin doses to get the same effect. At some point, you just aren't able to produce enough insulin to keep your blood sugar in a healthy range. And that is when you have diabetes. And that's something we all want to avoid because blood sugar that's too high has a lot of damaging effects on brain cells, heart, the vessels, basically everything. I don't say that everyone that has an adult diabetes has it because he has eaten too much sweets. There are several reasons, and there's the juvenile diabetes, that is a completely different story. But being overweight and having a too high insulin level will contribute to developing this metabolic syndrome and, in the long run, diabetes and heart diseases. I know I said I do interval fasting within my how to lose weight after pregnancy video, but that's actually not the main goal. The scientifically proven medical benefits from interval fasting are preventive. They are not only for weight loss. You can do interval fasting without weight loss, but they are for preventing the before mentioned metabolic syndrome. Insulin is released when we eat. So when we don't eat, there's no peak in insulin. And the insulin levels take about 4 hours to go down to normal, the baseline. So if I eat and then don't eat for the next 4 hours, my insulin levels go down. Then I eat again, they go up and slowly start to go back to normal again. The longer I don't eat, the longer my insulin levels are at baseline. And the longer my body has time to process all the information, and the less he will be inclined to reduce my insulin receptors. So what interval fasting means is that you increase the time you spend at insulin baseline. The most common way is to basically skip breakfast. You eat for lunch, and then you eat just like you normally eat, and then you eat within an 8 hours window for dinner. So let's just say you have a lunch at 12, and then you have dinner at 8, and in between you eat whatever you want. You're always trying to keep it healthy and get in enough calories if you want to maintain your weight. And then you stop eating because most likely you had your last meal and then going to go to bed. And that way you won't trigger any new insulin release for about 16 hours, 24 hours in a day. You eat in an 8-hour window, and then you sleep most of the time. You get up, you go about your business, and then you eat again next time for lunch. This is how most people do interval fasting. Sadly, this is not a way that works for me. Because I really like breakfast foods. It's my favorite meal of the day. And I have 2 small kids, and I want to eat as many meals with them as I can. So I tried another version. And this is one where I go 24 hours without eating, but only twice or 3 times a week. So I'm eating dinner with the kids, with family, and then I don't eat. I don't eat breakfast, I don't eat lunch, I don't eat anything in between. I just drink a lot because you need your fluids, and then I eat again next evening for dinner. I found that it worked better for my social life because I have friends that I meet for breakfast or for brunch, and I have coffee dates and all that, and that way I can switch the days. If I know I'm invited for coffee on a Thursday, I'm going to do Monday and Wednesday. That's completely up to personal preference. The effect, however, is the same. Now, as I said, interval fasting is not mainly about weight loss. If you do it and want just to keep healthy for prevention and want to maintain your weight, you have to make sure that you eat the amount of calories you need within your time slot. I do it for weight loss still, but I aim for 1,000 to 1,500 calories just eaten in the evening. This is very important. You're not starving your body. It's not about cutting down calories. That's not what interval fasting is for. Of course, if you do it, you will consume a little less calories until you really put in an effort. But it is about this insulin level baseline. And that way your body has more time to actually break down the fat cells. Interval fasting is about prevention of secondary diseases and not only about weight loss. Interval fasting can help in weight loss and can help in reducing body fat. Interval fasting can be done daily with skipping the breakfast, or it can be 2 to 3 times a week. You should aim to take up enough calories and, of course, healthy calories, and you should drink a lot. I'm going to do a little more for weight loss because even though I am down at my pre-pregnancy weight already, I'm still not quite where I want to be. I want to be at the weight that I was when I met my husband, which was many years ago, and yeah, in a complete different life. And I know I still have much more work to do in terms of toning. But without further rambling, this is how I look right now. Some changes in my body, like a little loosening in the lower belly, will be permanent, but yeah. I have 2 amazing children, and this is how my body looks after 9 months. That was a very long but hopefully very informative video. If you have any other questions regarding pregnancy, post-pregnancy body, weight loss, anything, leave them in the comments below or do a video request. I'm happy to film videos you requested. And yeah, I'm going to see you all very soon with another beauty video. Oh, and of course, like, subscribe, the whole shebang. Bye.